I have real breaking news for you, and this is what's going to happen now with this nonsense. Over 1,000 pages over the weekend. They're going to vote on it on Monday. They feel they have their filibuster-proof members now. You're going to be hearing one report after another on the Sunday shows and all the cable shows telling you how wonderful this is. Now, I want to tell you something. This is from Breitbart.com, from Mike Flynn. I want you to listen to this. Just as public anxiety about the weak border security provisions in the Senate immigration bill was building, Republican Senator Bob Corker of Tennessee stepped forward with an amendment to fix the problem. The result of his efforts, however, has been a Christmas tree measure covering items far beyond border security. And now we're starting to find out what's in it, folks. Breitbart News has learned exclusively that one provision of Corker's amendment will allow workers who stay in the country past their visa to remain on the path to citizenship. Even in the future, breaking the law won't stop progress on what Vice President Joe Biden calls the unfettered path to citizenship. So if you have a temporary visa and it's up and you stay and you break the existing law, which would be the new law, you will be forgiven and you will still be on the path to citizenship. The Corker Amendment ostensibly addresses measures to beef up border security, but it's also likely to be the last amendment considered on the immigration bill. 1,000-plus page amendment to supplant the current proposal. The way it works, folks, is this is now the new bill. They dumped everything into this so-called amendment. But buried within the text of the amendment is a seemingly innocuous provision. Here it's what it says. F. Applicability of certain grounds of inadmissibility. In determining an alien's inadmissibility under this section, Section 212A9B of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 18 U.S.C. 1182, A9B, shall not apply. This is what they throw at you. This is why you'll never know what's in these laws, unless you have a U.S. code at your fingertips. But let me continue. What does that mean? Current law states that those applying for green cards are ineligible if they are either illegally present at any point or overstay the terms of their work visas. Such an immigrant in current law would have to return to their home country and restart the immigration process. But the Corker Amendment wipes away that enforcement mechanism. In the current draft of the amendment, any worker in the country on a legal work visa for 10 years can get a green card even if they overstay their visa. The Corker Amendment allows immigrants to break the law in the future and still be eligible for citizenship. It absolves prospective behavior, not simply past mistakes. And prior to the Corker Amendment, 4.5 million immigrants outside the country, a visa waiting list, were subject to laws restricting their presence in the U.S. Not anymore. There you go. The great border security amendment, full of crap, just like its sponsor. I ended the last hour with a revelation about what's in this new immigration bill that they're going to be voting on Monday. And they can't control themselves. You see, folks, lying, deceiving, they become a habit. They become a habit when there are no consequences. They become a habit when lying and deceiving become, well, politically beneficial. Somebody on this gang of 8, or the whole gang of 8, or somebody in the administration put language in this bill, which they intend to vote on Monday, that provides if an individual violates the status of their visa, that is the term of it, and overstays their visa, that they'll be unaffected by it. They'll still be on the path to citizenship. Today, when they tell us that this law doesn't work, when they tell us our system's broken, today, if you overstay your visa, you're subject to deportation. This new law that they want to pass, where they hope to have 70 votes in the Senate, where they hope to have most of the Republicans in the Senate. You listening to me, Mitch McConnell? This new law, should it pass, provides basically for immunity for those who violate the law prospectively. I've been saying we cannot trust these people in Washington, whether it's with our health care, whether it's with our financial system, whether it's with the Environmental Protection Agency, the IRS, whether it's this NSA stuff and with immigration. Can you please tell me one area of life that they are involved in where they preempt the field, that they handle correctly or properly or at least with integrity? These senators pushing for this don't have any integrity. There, I said it, and it's true. Now let me go over again what I'm talking about because the story was just broken in Breitbart by Mike Flynn. And the headline is the Corker Amendment. The Corker Amendment is now the bill. So when you hear the amendment, I know it sounds weird, but that amendment is now being used as the bill. Permanently offers citizenship to those overstaying their visa. And again, under current law, if you overstay your visa and you're caught, you're deported. And you're not granted, in essence, immunity, and off you go on a pathway to citizenship. I mean, this is just crazy. So this Gang of Eight slipped this language into this bill because they figure, what the hell? And my guess is there's lots of crap in this bill, just as there was with Dodd-Frank, just as there was with Obamacare. These massive omnibus bills, they put the word reform on it. They tell you, oh, we're going to do a better job securing the border. Our system's broke. The people who break the system are now claiming the system is going to be fixed. So Mike Flynn, he writes, just as public anxiety about the weak border security provisions in the Senate immigration bill was building, Republican Senator Bob Corker of Tennessee stepped forward with an amendment to supposedly fix the problem. But the result of his efforts has been a Christmas tree measure covering items far beyond border security. And Breitbart News has learned exclusively that one provision of Corker's bill will allow workers who stay in the country past their visa to remain on the path to citizenship. That's what this jerk did. The law is worse than it is. The proposed law is worse than when it is today. Even in the future, breaking the law won't stop progress on what Vice President Biden calls the unfettered path to citizenship. The Corker Amendment ostensibly addresses measures to beef up border security. I hope the folks at Fox are listening to me because you're going to have a conga line of Republicans who want to come on Fox, and you need to question them. You need to pin them to the wall. I don't care about the other cable networks. They suck. Let them go to hell. But you folks, I care about. So be informed and be ready for them. The Corker Amendment ostensibly addresses measures to beef up border security. However, it also is likely to be the last amendment considered on the immigration bill because it's going to be considered the immigration bill. It has become a 1,000-page amendment to supplant the current proposal and provide multiple new provisions. Now, it has become the vehicle for Obamacare 2. Buried within the text of the amendment, or the proposed bill, if you prefer, is a seemingly innocuous provision, and I will say a technical provision. You know, even if you had it in front of you and read it, and most of you don't, and I don't, your eyes would glaze over. Section F, applicability of certain grounds of inadmissibility. In determining an alien's inadmissibility under this section, Section 212A9B of the Immigration and Nationality Act, 8 U.S.C. 1182A9B shall not apply. And you go, okay, great, next section. But somebody on the Hill said, wait a minute, what is that? What does that mean? Well, current law provides that those applying for green cards, for visas, are ineligible if they are either illegally present at any point or overstay the terms of their work visa. Such an immigrant in current law would have to return to their home country and restart the immigration process, or they would be deported. The Corker bill, the Corker Amendment, wipes out that enforcement mechanism. It provides that any worker in the country on a legal work visa for 10 years can get a green card, even if they overstay their visa, period, case closed. The Corker Amendment allows immigrants to break the law in the future and still be eligible for citizenship. It absolves prospective behavior, not simply past mistakes. And prior to this proposed law, the 4.5 million immigrants outside the country on a visa waiting list were subject to laws restricting their presence in the United States. And the Gang of Eight Senate bill would offer them immediate green cards as long as they hadn't violated current U.S. law. The language in the new Corker bill would remove this restriction. They would be immediately eligible for a green card even if they lived illegally in this country, having already violated their visa terms. And the Corker Amendment wipes away any immigration enforcement. It is designed to maximize the number of individuals who qualify for citizenship. This snake oil salesman, Chuck Schumer, this snake oil salesman, Dick Durbin, this jerk Bennett from Colorado, Menendez, hey little girl, that one, and then McCain, and all the rest of them. I wonder what Marco Rubio would say about this, seriously. His people are listening attentively to this program, I have no doubt. What is the defense for this? What is the explanation for this? How can any Republican in the U.S. Senate, let alone the 4 Republicans who are part of this crazy gang of 8, support such a thing? The Democrats, folks, we've got Landrieu running for the re-election in Louisiana. We've got Pryor running for re-election in Arkansas. You've got all kinds of phony moderate Democrats who are liberals running for re-election. What do you say, folks? You want to take your country back? This is not a serious bill. This is another crap sandwich. Yes, it is. A crap sandwich on white bread. I'm not allowed to eat white bread anymore. It's a ruse. And you have these hosts on TV and hosts on radio and columnists. Oh, I support it. It's about time. We got to get this done. Get what done? Get what done? You haven't even read it. You've got senators announcing. Last week, Kelly Ayotte of New Hampshire announced that she's going to support the bill. They didn't even have a bill, but she supports it. Kirk of Illinois, same thing. Well, this amendment, I got to go with it. Hadn't even been written yet. He was supporting it. The point is that they have been looking for an excuse to vote for anything that's called comprehensive immigration reform. They can beat their chests as being independent and compassionate. And look at the Bush guys. Jeb Bush supports this. He doesn't even know what this is. And so do all their little staffers that used to work for George Bush. This is madness. This is not the way a great nation legislates. This is the way they handle things in phony legislatures, in the third world, in banana republics. This isn't serious. Although, if it passes, it's serious for you and me.